You are listening to Revealed. My name is Trent Stevenson, and this is the first episode. You can watch us here on YouTube, or you can also find us on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Pandora, basically anywhere you're going to ever watch or listen to podcasts. Today, I'm joined by my good friend, Josh. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
So we're basically going to go out here on this podcast, and we're just going to talk about everything going on in our area, your area, around the United States and around the world. Just giving our 2 cents. We got facts and we've got opinions. Basically, is what we got.
Some might have more opinions than facts, but I won't jump into that.
But
you know what I mean?
We're out here. We're just throwing our 2 cents in, and we might not know at all what we're talking about, but we're gonna freaking talk about it
And give our opinions about it.
That's right.
See what I mean?
Josh, how long have you lived in Missouri?
24, about to be 25 years now.
Well, yeah, 25 years old.
Yeah.
There you go. So let's talk about the weather in Missouri, man.
Well, it just freaking snowed.
It just freaking snowed.
It's April, dude.
It's April. It's the middle, almost May, and we had like a stretch of like 50, 60, 70, 80 degree weather, and then you wake up one day.
It snowed. Blizzard snowed, what, 2-3 inches?
Yeah, dude. Blizzard. It's freaking weird, and it's crazy. And you know, they always joke about in Missouri that like the weather's changing all the time, but this is the first. This is the first that I've seen it snow. It's fucking random.
In April, that alone, I like to say Missouri has a bipolar issue.
Yeah.
Because it changes like that. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's probably like in California. In California, they have the same weather all year round. It's just freaking 70, 80 degrees all year round, a lot of water.
Well, like Florida, too, it's same few weather changes. I mean,
when was the last time it snowed in Florida? Probably
never.
Yeah. Texas got freaking hit this last winter.
Yeah.
They got freaking destroyed. But Missouri, man, it changes. Like, you don't know what season you're in. You could be in the summer, like we're getting ready to get into, and it snows. Or you could be in the dead of winter, 80 degrees outside.
Yeah. It could go from summer one week, and then the next week it could be winter or spring, or who the hell knows these days.
You can't plan your days. You got to do it like hour by hour basis. Like, okay, it's snowing right now, but in an hour it's probably going to be 70 degrees.
Yeah, 70.
Be out there barbecuing.
70 and sunny. Who knows?
I don't know, man. It's weird living in Missouri, but I have also been in the area for on 21 years.
21.
So,
Youngster.
there we are. And I haven't seen anything like that. I've seen some weird weather, yes.
Well, I think we've all seen some weird weather if you live in Missouri.
Yeah, in Missouri, you're going to have weird weather. But nothing like this. That was crazy. I mean, kind of shocked everyone. And, like, I seen some posts shared on Facebook about it's supposed to snow tomorrow. And then I'm like, okay, this is freaking stupid. You're crazy. It's not going to happen. Sure, freaking enough. Blizzard outside.
I didn't believe it whenever I first heard it. And then I saw it snowing. I'm like, well, crap. It's actually doing it.
Yeah. Enough talking about the weather in Missouri.
Even though it's crazy.
Another crazy thing, though, is Jake Paul knocked out Ben Askren.
No shit.
Yeah, whooped his ass.
You know, I actually heard that they were going to fight, but I never even seen the fight.
Yeah, so Ben Askren he's a decorated athlete, an Olympic athlete. He's fought in the UFC. He's wrestled his entire life, and Jake Paul has been making YouTube videos and boxing for the past 2 years. So, like, he went into the fight just, like, underestimating Jake Paul. Like, I'm just going to get in here, whoop this kid's ass, smack him around.
Well, I'm sure since he had, like, the previous however many years of doing everything he's done.
Confident. Like, he's been hit in the jaw 1,000 times. But Jake Paul, dude, he got the best of him, and he went in there, and a minute and 30 seconds into the first round of the fight, they were going for 7 rounds, I think it was. minute and 30 seconds into the first round, got in there, threw a hook, knocked Ben Askren out. They called the fight right there.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Jake Paul just looked good. Ben Askren looked like a dad.
True, yeah.
He had that dad bod. And it just didn't work for Ben Askren. His mindset is what lost him the fight, I think is what it was. But, yeah, it's crazy. Don't underestimate him.
I mean, it's hard to.
So they say, like they've been saying, Jake Paul needs to fight a real fighter. So he fights a real fighter, and now they're like, box a real boxer.
Oh, okay.
Like, are you ready? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even a boxer until you box a real boxer. And it's like, well, who the hell do you want him to fight? The kid's like, he's younger than you. He's 24 years old.
Really?
Yeah, 24 years old. Out here.
Youngster.
Son of a bitch. But he's out here, and he's like, knocking these people. Ben Askren's 35, 36 years old.
Really?
Been fighting longer than Jake Paul's been alive. So, like.
And that was the MMA, wasn't it? Or something?
He fought
something along those lines?
Like high school and college wrestling.
Okay.
MMA, UFC, that kind of stuff. And he's been doing that for 20 years. So.
Well, shoot, he's been doing it for a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah. He's been in the game, and he was only retired for 14 months. So he wasn't even out of the game.
Yeah, that's not long at all to be out of it.
Stupid. It's stupid. But, hey, I was rooting for Jake Paul. People told me I was crazy. I rooted for Jake Paul because he was the underdog going in that fight. No one thought he would win, and he won. And so for that, I freaking respect him. He's a douchebag. But I respect him because he went in there and he took out a veteran. I mean, like a hardcore veteran.
I mean, from the sounds of it, I'd give him at least a little bit of credit for doing that.
Credit, like he's obviously a fighter. He knows how to fight, and so people not giving him the respect he deserves. It's kind of bullcrap, man. Now, have you watched the full video? So we're about to get into a topic that. Is pretty controversial. So if you don't like controversial stuff, here's the time to click off. There's going to be a lot of opinions that are getting thrown around here in just a second.
Okay. Well, the opinions, whether it being true or not.
Yeah, true or not.
I mean, I have a lot of stuff pulled up. Whether or not it's true, I don't know.
Yeah.
You be the deciding factor on what you think is true or not.
Yeah, and what you agree with and stuff like that. So it's totally like, so we're going to give you the facts of the story and then just follow it up with our opinions.
Yeah.
So right now in America, there's a big thing where systemic racism is in the law enforcement category. Like, people are saying basically that law enforcement officers are trained to be racist.
Well, you see that.
Trained to be racist.
No, I
like they go to the academy, right? So me and Josh, we work in law enforcement. I guess we're in a branch off the Department of Corrections. We work in a county jail. So we work every day hand in hand with law enforcement every single day.
With all kinds of law enforcement.
All kinds of law enforcement.
Highway patrol.
Right. Park rangers. Sheriff's office.
Conservation.
Right. So we work, and this is why I say it's completely opinionated, right? So we're like, if there's something that, if we see something wrong, we're going to say it's wrong.
Well,
right?
yeah.
And if it's avoidable, we're going to say it's avoidable.
or just not do it.
At the same time, like, we're going to explain why stuff happens, I guess you could say. Like, use of force is what I mean by that. But, so anyway, they say that law enforcement has systemic racism involved with it, which, I mean, you tie that along with people of a certain party, okay? That say that people like us, white middle-aged men, are racist, sexist pigs, okay?
But what if I self-identify as a 60-year-old Indian woman.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
I
it
mean,
doesn't matter
because I am a white
you are,
middle-aged man.
but-
Well, not middle-aged, but
we're kind of getting there,
you
but
can't-
we're white. We're white men, okay? And so, like,
here's my thing though. Not only are we white males, we're straight white males. And what is the big thing going on with everything going on? Who's to blame for that? Straight white men.
right. And so, like, automatically, we are Trump supporters, right? Because
yeah,
so I'm not saying that I am a Trump supporter. I'm just saying that the stereotype is that we're Trump supporters, that we're middle-aged, white, straight men that live in the middle of freaking nowhere, live in a red state, a red county. We're Trump supporters.
And assuming all of that we have guns and
right.
this, that, the other.
And we'd like to defend our rights and that kind of stuff. So we're Trump supporters. But what I'm getting into is that they're
just because there's a bias of it doesn't mean that every straight white male is what you say it is.
Right. Because I am not racist. So, like, I have an African American brother and sister, and I love them just as much as I love my Caucasian brothers and sisters. So, like, I don't have that type of racism, but situational profiling is a thing that everyone does.
Well, everybody does it, no matter where you are, whether
it's
a small town like this to a big city like New York.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in our area, a very high crime area would be like
East St. Louis. Yeah,
East St. Louis has a terrible, terrible crime rate. If I saw anyone at any gas station, I don't care the color of their skin, what they look like, if they're a dude or a chick, if I see anyone at a gas station and I'm in the sketchiest neighborhood, in the state, I'm going to be on the fence.
Well, yeah, on the fence. That's not going to be the whole reason of me being, if you get out of my way, sure, I'll be friendly. Will I be sketched out?
Right.
Sure. Because not of who is there.
Yeah.
Because of the stories I've heard of
and the where you're at and the what is it, the stigma around that area is like, okay, I might end up dead. I might not make it out of this neighborhood, and that's not because of any specific race or anything like that. It's just that is a area of high crime. Why is it an area of high crime? Don't know, but it is.
Well, some people might say that they would know because of certain people living there, but really, in all reality, I don't know
There's
why.
There's not really a reason. There's not really a reason, but
a specific set reason.
So, like, I'm going to be sketched out anyway, but as a member of law enforcement, I was not trained. I do not talk to people every day in law enforcement who say, if you see a black person, treat them differently.
No, I through my experience, I have not seen that either.
Yeah.
I haven't, not firsthand seen it at least.
Yeah, like, and we've had several African American males and females come inside of our jail, and none of the officers came in and said, "Hey, treat them different because they're of a different color."
No,
I've never had that. Won't ever have that because people want to play the race card, and it's not about race.
No, it has nothing to do with race.
All right, this video is brought to you and sponsored by Golden Creations. They are the #1 crochet place in the area. They make cool little stuffed animals like this. They can also make socks, beanies. They make 3D printing now. They make everything. So it's pretty cool, and it's all at a great deal. All you have to do is just message me, and we can get you a good deal on a new crochet or 3D printing item.
They also are on Facebook, so you could go check out some of their things there as well.
Yep, you can find them on Facebook at Golden Creations. I believe they have their phone number and ways of contacting them, and different pictures of stuff that they make.
And payment methods too, and
right. So they're awesome, really good people over there. So that's Golden Creations. You can find them on Facebook, get their contact information, and get yourself set up with some new 3D printed items or crocheted stuffed animals, kind of like the one I have here for my daughter. It's gonna be pretty sweet. So we're gonna get right back into the podcast. So like I was saying, people want to make the law enforcement and everything like that, the shootings, and
so make them out to be racist pieces, POSs.
Yeah, pieces of shit. We're just gonna say it out there. Okay,
yeah, just throwing it out there.
It's not about race, and it's not about it. People want to make it about race, but it's just the narrative that politicians want us to have.
Well, not only politicians, but it's also what people grow up hearing and their experiences from the past.
Yeah. I think that a lot of it is the past, as well as what can we do for your vote.
Exactly. And what doesn't help is that mainstream likes to pull their card and twist things to however they like to twist it.
Right. So I'm not too big of not a Democrat, not a far right or conservative either.
Not far right nor far left.
Right. And so I'm kind of there in the middle where I want to see everyone thrive. If you believe, if you don't believe in abortion, if you believe in gay rights, whatever, you know what I mean? I don't care. I just think that where we're at as a country now is past the point of return.
Well, we're far beyond that, because if you go to different places and you talk to different people, sure, they'll all have their opinions, and they have every right to their opinions. But when it comes down to it, is we're in a new era here, and in this year and going into the future, where sure, it's not like the 60s or 70s where you have to hide if you were gay or if
you're of a different race,
transgender or whatever. And do I agree with it? Not particularly, but that's my opinion, and everybody is at their opinion.
Yeah, everyone has one. Everyone has the right to one. That's the cool thing about America. But I think that we're at the point of not being able to return, because people have made people basically, like we were saying earlier, hate people that are white, middle-aged men, because they're racist, sexist, slob pigs.
Because of the stereotypes of said
right.
people.
They've made African-American children be scared of police when police are there to help them. But the narrative that they wrote over the past 5 years is that the police are not there to help you; they're there to kill you, and that's not the case.
No,
at all.
it's not.
It's not the freaking case.
And a lot talking about police and races and stuff like that. If you sit down and actually have a decent conversation with them, excluding race, politics, all that, and you talk to them like a human being, I mean, shoot, that's what we all are. We're all human beings.
Yeah, and so I'm going to throw us in that category of law enforcement, because we kind of, we basically are. We work with them. We're trained by them, and you know what I mean?
Technically, we are, in a sense, because they're on the road doing their job, and then they bring whoever, for whatever reason, to us.
And we take it from there.
And we take it from there.
And we withhold, or we uphold the law. We keep them. We serve and protect the community as well, because we keep them out of the community.
Keep said people away from everybody who's not in jail.
Obviously can't be in the community because they're committing crimes.
Exactly.
Right.
And
so I'm gonna throw that in there. But we, talking about law enforcement officers, are normal people. I'm in my house right now.
Yeah.
I have a house. I have a kid. I have a dog. I have, you know what I mean? I'm a normal person. I go on vacations.
Pay taxes. Pay your bills.
Right. I
just like everybody else.
I like to enjoy Christmas too.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? I buy cars, buy houses. So normal people. They're everyday people. They're people like your moms, your dads, your grandmas, your grandpas.
Brothers,
some of them might be
sisters.
your mom, your dad,
Yeah,
your grandma,
exactly.
grandpa's brothers, sisters. So it's like they're normal people. They're like law enforcement officers. Both of our screens are blank at the same time. But they're normal people, and they're not these crazy monsters that are trained to just go out and murder people.
No, they're not. And we could say that knowing that we were trained by them. Exactly.
By them, the same people that they're calling murderous, racist assholes. We were trained by them, and I'll tell you that we were far from being trained to be racist. Like,
no. And I actually went through academy a few years back, and they had nothing in their curriculum about being racist or treating people differently of the color of their skin, religion, or whatever.
So there's I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this because we've got some more topics we want to get to, but so there's a stabbing in Ohio, okay? 16-year-old girl, she's out. I'm just going to be brutally honest, on a stabbing rampage. She's trying to stab 5 or 6 people there.
Mm-hmm.
The cops show up, right? Obviously someone was scared for their life. They called the police to help them. That's what they do. Yeah. That's what they're there for. Never be scared to call them.
To enforce the laws and to protect people.
And serve.
Exactly.
And so the officers show up. Okay? This chick, 16-year-old teenager, she's a black girl. She's stabbing people. Trying to stab people. Okay? She goes to try to stab this other girl in the neck.
Was it the neck?
It was like in the neck or in the head, right in that area.
Oh, in that region?
Yeah, somewhere in there. I don't really know because of how it ended. So how it ended was this officer, it was a white officer, shoots her, okay? Because she's getting ready to stab this girl with a steak knife. So the officer has to serve and protect that individual.
Said individual.
And he shoots her. Is there anything wrong with that? No.
During the situation and how it happened and the extent of the situation, what's the word I'm thinking of? The threatening situation of what could have happened. What could have happened if he didn't do that.
I think it's justified. I don't think there's anything wrong. Anything wrong with it, and no one really does. No one really thinks that he was in the wrong for shooting her necessarily, but they say that she just had a knife. A knife could kill you just as easily as a gun can.
And I know, and I'm sure there are people who had special training with knives who could just as easily kill somebody with a gun.
Right, yeah. I mean, someone who has a knife could potentially run at you and stab you before you could even shoot them.
Well,
because you try to hesitate, and all this crap, the George Floyd thing, this Ohio shooting, all of this is making police officers
scared and look bad,
scared to do their job, hesitate to do their job, and eventually it's going to come to the point where police officers aren't going to want to respond to these calls.
Well, especially nowadays, now that they have like the defund the police protests and stuff like that, if they want to defund the police,
what's the point?
What's the point of even having them? Who's going to protect you?
Yeah, and what's the point of even joining if people are just going to hate you?
Yeah.
Which, when you put that badge on and you put that vest on, you've got a target on your back. When you put that uniform on, whether you put on a jail or a corrections uniform or you put on a police uniform, no matter what police uniform it is, you've got a target on your back.
And I think that exceeds whether you have the uniform on or not.
Yeah, when you're home.
Exactly.
In the grocery store.
Because people know who you are. Especially in a small town like this, they know who you are, they know your face, they know what you do. So I don't think that it's a fact of wearing the uniform that has a target. If you're doing your job correctly, some people might not like that.
And then you add this on top of it.
And
And now we're adding this on top of it.
On
And
top
it's
of
making
everything.
it that much worse. Like, police officers don't get enough credit. Now, I don't want to sound like this complete bias. Like, if you don't like the police, screw you. I don't want to be that. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, just because I'm wearing this hat,
Yeah,
doesn't mean that police are in the wrong.
It fits. We didn't know we were gonna get this deep into this conversation, but it fits. But so I don't want to sound like some biased asshole. That just sucks the police dick. I'm just gonna say it. Dude. I'm not that. But like, come on. Like, at what point? It's like they're there to protect you. They get paid $30,000 to $40,000 a year,
which
to go get shot. To just want to kill them all the time. People hate them, and it's like, I would rather go freaking install some air conditioning for the same amount of money. You know what I mean?
If not more.
Yeah, but it's like they actually care. That's why they do it, because they actually care. Now, are there bad cops, Josh? Are there bad cops?
Yes. I will say straight out there.
Are all cops bad?
Not all cops are bad.
Not all cops are bad.
There are cops that are bad, whether that's bad at their job, racist, crooked, whatever the case may be. There are bad cops. Not all of them are bad cops. So, a lot of them are wanting to do their job and actually help people and make a difference in their community.
Yeah. What would you say the chances? What am I trying to say? I guess back on the race and on the reform and all that kind of stuff. What do you say the chances, 1 to 100%, that law enforcement needs to be abolished? 1 to 100, like 100% needs to be abolished, or like 0%, we need them to live?
Okay, so I disagree with the police being abolished. Could we make changes to kind of weed out said bad police officers? Sure, I'm sure we could. But I think that we need police around, and because think of it this way. And this is what I think about it. Okay, so if we say we abolish the police for whatever, say we abolish it and the police are no more, how many people with families are you putting out of a job?
Right.
Not only that, but say you are with your family going grocery shopping and the police are abolished, there's no more police. Look at the crime rates are going to go up, this, that, the other. And so you're grocery shopping, you're with your family, picking toys for your kids, whatever. And a couple people come in the store you're in and start shooting up the place. If the police are abolished, just who are you going to call to come and get those bad guys?
So to piggyback off that, right, so the police get abolished and your guns get taken away. Then what does society look like? So obviously we stand up for our rights, whether we're a Democrat or Republican.
Yeah.
We stand up for our rights. That's just us. Like, we're not going to tell you what we are, what our political view is, because it's not even worth it.
It's not worth going down the rabbit hole of saying, people saying, you're wrong, this, that, the other.
But, like, we believe in our rights as well. So there's a lot of social politics that we have our own beliefs in, but our rights, right? As Americans, we have our rights, and so we like to protect those. What if they take away the guns and they abolish police? What does our society even look like after that?
Well, I think that if they were to abolish police and take away, say, gun rights out of the picture, if they take those two out of the way, you're looking at a mass hysteric of crime and everything else to go just
So why would they want to do it? Why would they want to do it if we know what the end result is? Total chaos. Just total chaos.
Man, it's in the street.
Why would we want to do it? And that's what I ask people. Is like, why would we want to destroy our country like that? Because it's gonna happen. Like, I get you're your political policies, and I
Yeah,
get
sure.
like you want to win and all that kind of stuff, but like truthfully, if you do this, this country's not going to be anymore. And
No.
it's already, dude, I don't know about you, but I am scared for 20 years in the future for my daughter. What is it going to look like? I'm scared of 5 years in the future for my family. What's that going to look like? And I'm scared for myself to see what the end of the year looks like, because we're already on that teeter-totter where it's like one more thing
without a
happens.
doubt. Because with how sensitive a lot of these topics are, one more slightly little thing could push everything people like us believe in. Free speech, freedom of religion, gun rights, the list goes on. You take away the police and our Second Amendment right. Well, what does that look like for military families?
Right.
Any branch of the military. It doesn't look very good in my eyes.
No.
I am kind of fearful of what the future of America.
That's what I said.
Fearful.
I'm scared to see what it looks like, and we're on a teeter-totter. But I kind of want to get in. I was just looking over here on your notes, and about FEMA.
FEMA.
Tell me about your FEMA note.
Okay, about my FEMA note. So FEMA. So you remember, like Hurricane Katrina, and like Harvey and all those devastating,
Sandy and
all those devastating things. FEMA is what is like an organization, government run, that comes in and helps out those people. So they bring like food, medical supplies, water, and they come in to help.
So is this volunteer work, or
it can be, and they do have their. Hold on. They have their volunteers and they have their paid people to like.
Okay, so it's actually a business. Like we actually pay people. The government pays people to go in and help these people. And, aside from volunteer work.
Yeah, and depending and like I was saying with like the natural disasters. Excuse me. Sometimes they bring in the National Guard to help rebuild, like search and rescue, things like that, so that people could get found, and it's easier on FEMA to help support.
I got you. And so they pretty much will go anywhere, like for national.
In the U.S., yeah.
And stuff like that.
They'll come in and help evacuate, say if a hurricane comes, or they'll come in if like volcano eruption. But I mean,
it doesn't sound like a bad job.
It doesn't, but still, they do good. But I'm sure every place has its shady side.
And so they're hiring, right?
Well, I got they've got grants. I got their website up right here.
Okay. So it looks like FEMA is hiring. So anyone out in the country,
yeah. Look, there's a little place for careers. I'm gonna see what that says. Yeah.
So if you're in need of a job, FEMA is hiring.
I mean, you can definitely just go under the careers and. Under their position types, there's full-time, reservist, and on-call response.
I'll be honest, until right now, when you just explained it to me, I didn't know what FEMA was. Huh. And I try to be as knowledgeable as I possibly can on stuff, but I learned something new today. Because I didn't know what FEMA was, but it sounds cool. It sounds like a cool organization.
They do a lot of good. From what I've seen on like the news and stuff, when the hurricanes came, this, that, the other.
You think there's any politics involved in this?
I'm sure there's a lot of politics in it.
Probably some politics.
Because
you think Trump ever used them?
I mean, it's possible.
It's possible.
Anything is possible in this day and age, and that's kind of a gray area.
All right, Josh. So 1 to 100%. So 1 being not likely at all, 100% being yes. Are we the only beings in this world? Are there extraterrestrials, or are we it? Is Earth it? Is that it? Just people on Earth, and that's it? Because we did the math.
Yeah,
we did the math.
We did the math, yeah.
So based off of everything we could find on the internet, 29 octillion
miles wide is
the universe.
Fun fact, if you didn't know that before.
That's like 25 zeros. 29. 29 followed by 25 zeros.
Was it?
Something like that. It was a stupid amount.
Because I thought it was like 36.
He's probably right. But 29 octillion, we remember the verbiage. I just don't remember how many zeros, but it's that many zeros I don't remember.
Yeah, so it could be anywhere from 20 to 40 zeros.
So in that, knowing that it up to, and it could be further than that, we don't really know, 40 octillion miles, are we the only ones in the universe? What do you think? What's the chances?
Well, I think the chances are pretty high.
That we're the only ones? Or that there's others?
That there's other beings, whether that be... It could be any kind of beings, right?
Yeah, I mean,
any kind of
aliens, quote-unquote aliens.
Okay, so my opinion, I think out of the 900 octillion miles wide our universe is, if not more, I think that there's something out there.
Something out there.
Something.
Do you think that something has anything to do with Earth? Are we living in a simulation, Josh? Do we have these extraterrestrial beings controlling our everyday life? Did they throw in coronavirus just to see what we would do with it?
You know,
are we living in a simulation?
I think it's funny you brought up that. I mean, I've seen some videos on the internet, whether they're real or fake or
news or
made up, because people are good with that technology. So whether or not it was real or fake, I've seen some real quote-unquote glitches in the Matrix. So is it possible that we're in a simulation due to extraterrestrial beings? I think that there's a chance.
But so there's a chance that we're living in a simulation, but there's an even higher chance that we know there's something else out there.
Oh, I think that without a doubt.
There's enough evidence.
Yeah, especially with the evidence they just declassified.
Right, and the videos of the and literally the government, the U.S. government said, we don't know what these flying objects are. There's no explanation to them. So, hence, unidentified flying object.
UFO for short.
Yes, and so you don't know what it is. You can't put a finger on it. You can't say it was a plane, a bird, a frog. You don't know what it is. No. It's unidentified. So it's what is it?
And it's unidentified for a reason, because we don't know exactly what it is. It being unidentified for a reason.
Yes.
So
you think the chances are pretty high that we're not the only ones?
My opinion, I think 85 to 90% there's something out there.
Dude, I'm going to even top that and say 100% there's something. I'm going to be controversial about it. There's 100% chance there's something else out there. Because, man, there's a lot. And so we talked about that. We talk about stuff all the time, right? And so, we talked about the other day, Stonehenge, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have some interesting facts about Stonehenge.
Okay, so we talked about Stonehenge. My main thing was, and so we had some people try to explain to us how that works, but
and
come on,
the tools and stuff they used in that time,
and the physics, and it's okay, but I'm not even that smart now. That's thousands of years later.
What I wanted to tell that person is, okay, where's your PhD in this field?
So Stonehenge is one of my things. Is how did humans thousands of years ago,
Thousands.
be able to do that?
Okay, let me.
Top me.
I'll top you on
Top
that
me,
one.
dude.
Okay. So, bringing up Stonehenge and things that were made thousands of years ago. What about the pyramids? Say, like the Mayan pyramids.
They're in completely different places.
Yeah, Mayans in what? Mexico? Or South America?
South America,
South
I think
America.
is what it is.
Yeah, and then the pyramids of Egypt. How did they make those pyramids so identical?
Almost
Almost
identical.
Identical when they had, no communication from that time frame.
And so there's a bunch of dead zones. So famously, the Bermuda Triangle, famously.
Yeah.
But there's more than just that. There's several around the world. And so the weird thing that I was looking up, and so, I mean, again, this is just opinionated, right? But I was looking it up, and so these dead zones are all in straight lines. So they're if you look at the world, the Earth, there's lines of where these are, and they all connect in perfect symmetrical lines. And so, man, like that tells me that there's how is everything so perfect? Like, how's all this, like Stonehenge? How is it so perfect? Even though humans aren't perfect, but these dead zones in the earth, and if you're not religious, how did two rocks clash together and make this perfect thing? You know what I mean?
This can be a real interesting topic because
it's kinda, so like, if you're not religious, the Big Bang Theory, two rocks
collided
clashed together
and made this
perfect Earth,
perfect life-sustaining Earth.
Or with organisms, human life,
with just the right amount of land, right amount of water,
two rocks.
Yeah.
If you ever think to yourself, I can't do that in my life, this just goes to show you anything is possible.
Okay, so
anything's possible.
Talking about the Big Bang Theory, okay, they say that two rocks or whatever collided and made the Earth, right? So what's stopping me from going outside and getting two rocks together and smashing them together and making another world on this world? What's stopping me from doing that right now?
It's weird, but so we have the Earth, but now we have all this perfect stuff, and so that's why I wonder, are aliens real, man? And I think that they are, truthfully. I think that aliens are real, and that, like giants, for example, dude. Like, thousands of years ago, people never made it over like 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now, so if you're are religious, David and Goliath being the giants. So, and now all of a sudden we have these people who are 6'4", 6'5", 7 foot. And out of nowhere, just breed it, and here we have 7 foot guys walking around this world.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, so what made that happen?
Okay.
Who did that?
So, another thing for you. So, bringing it back a little bit to the Big Bang Theory, right? So, Big Bang Theory supposedly happened, okay?
Right.
So, there weren't any humans, so supposedly wasn't anything like us during that time frame. So, but there were like apes and monkeys and things like that, maybe. Who knows for sure? So what came here possibly and maybe did testing or bred with these beings or whatever to create us? Because if you look at the human body in itself, it's
so perfect.
It's so perfect. Take the eardrum, for example. The eardrum is about the size of a pea.
Right.
So if two rocks collided,
what can it? Okay, yeah.
If two rocks collided and created this perfect Earth, like you were saying, And so what possibly came to this earth to make, here's my theory, make apes who are kind of similar to us.
Right.
What came to this earth to make them do whatever to them to make us, if you want to follow evolution?
Yeah.
What changed?
How did two rocks together, banging together, make perfect eardrums? Make perfect intestines? Make perfect brains to make your fucking fingers flittle around. You know what I mean?
It makes no sense to me.
It's weird, man. I think there's aliens out there.
It makes perfect sense to me.
I think there's aliens out there, and I think that the people are trying to cover it up.
Well, take Area 51, for example. Everybody knows about it, but what exactly are they doing?
Well, what do we know about it? That's the thing, so we know about it.
About it, but what exactly?
Why is it so secretive?
Why is it so secured and secretive?
In the land of the free.
Exactly. But did you hear about the supposed tunnels that led to Area 52? Mm-mm. And did you even know that there was an Area 52?
Nope.
No.
Not in Area 52. Only Area 51 is all I knew about.
So, take that for example. If everybody knew or had heard about Area 51, why don't we know what's going on there? Why doesn't everybody know about the supposed tunnels to Area 52? And who knows what other bases are out there?
So my thing with Area 51 is historians and governmental officials and stuff like that, they say that they are testing, that they use Area 51 to test new equipment, to test new planes, build new planes that are superficial and just amazing. Okay, why not tell us that? Why keep it secret?
Yeah,
why just tell us? So word of mouth, they've told us that that's what it is, but they haven't actually came out and said, "Look, you guys are all just fucking crazy. All we're doing here is building a plane." I don't need the blueprint to the plane.
No.
Just tell me that you're building an awesome fucking plane.
Yeah.
So we're in this world of crazy war, power. There's so much power in war. Russia has so much power. China has so much power. We have so much power, and so it's we get it. We know why you're doing it. Why you're building stuff that can go into the atmosphere or even into even into space.
Yeah.
And it's so I get that. Just tell us that's what you're doing. We don't need historians to tell us that they're beliefs.
No, not at all.
It was leaked to us that this is what's being built, or that the Nighthawk or whatever it is, Black Hawk was being built there. And it's we don't need to
no specifics.
Yeah, of what I don't give a shit if this thing's gonna only fly 5 feet above the surface, or if it's gonna fly to the moon and fly around the freaking solar system to attack someone else. I don't care about that. Just tell me that you're doing it.
At least the gist of what you're doing.
Don't keep it secretive.
No,
you can keep the blueprints and all that kind of stuff.
All the secretive stuff.
Yeah,
whatever.
You can keep it secretive.
That's
cool.
different.
That's just more of land security, homeland security stuff.
Exactly.
But just tell us that you're doing it. You ain't gotta keep it so secretive, man. Because you're making people like us think that something more is going on.
Which
aliens.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Okay, so
that's a big thing.
On the thing about aliens. All right, so we went to the moon in the 60s, 70s?
Right.
Somewhere.
Went to the moon.
Somewhere around there, right? So here's my theory on that. So, if we were able to go to the moon back on that technology 50, 60, 70 years ago, what changed to where we can't go back to the technology to go to the moon now? When all of our technology has advanced in so many ways.
Oh my God.
It advanced so much.
Take an iPhone 5 years ago and compare it to now.
Yeah.
Or 10 years ago and compare it to
exactly.
now. Our technology is through the freaking roof. And so, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so what changed to make us not want to go back to the moon?
Well, yeah, we have just, recently discovered, if even discovered all of Earth.
True. Look at
Why have we discovered a small landing place on the moon and called it good?
why are they talking about sending rovers and whatever else to Mars, but yet we can't go back to the moon for what reason? What's the reasoning? Why are we looking to go to space when only 5% of the ocean has been actually searched and documented?
We can't even go to the bottom of the ocean.
Exactly. So why are we looking to go beyond this Earth when we haven't even fully understood Earth in itself?
Yeah. And we don't even know if there's aliens yet.
Okay, so I do believe that there are aliens out there. I do believe that when the Big Bang happened...
If it happened, but if it
happened, and during that time frame for when the Earth supposedly came into existence, what helped us evolve from
so far
that point of when the Earth was created, whatever it may be, to now? What changed?
Here's my thing with the Big Bang beer. Sorry, too much alcohol. Here's my thing with the Big Bang Theory. Is like, so they clashed together. They made organisms, okay, and like these organisms transformed into plants. And these plants, like, it didn't just bang together and boom, you had apes.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
had to grow. And so, like, if I go out in my yard to where there's grass growing, there's not freaking apes growing out in my grass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like, at what point did that mutate into an ape? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like, what put that ape here? Because it wasn't just organisms. Like, okay, if two rocks bang together, right, and then boom, you had some plant life that was able to grow. But what made it grow from the plants into the apes, and then into the humans, and then now these humans are just stupid smart, able to do what we can do.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man.
Okay, so adding on to what you were saying, how do we get to point A of the Earth being created however way and having all these organisms? How did we start from there to end up where we are today?
Yeah.
Because
millions of years.
Who knows
but
if it's...
how did it come? How did it come to? Like, even if it was a bajillion years, dude.
Well, and here's the funny thing about it. Who knows if it was exactly a million years ago?
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know how long it's been.
Exactly.
How do they even know how big the freaking universe is? You don't know. You haven't even explored past freaking Mars. I mean, you just got to Mars, so how can you even try to describe how far the universe is? It's crazy, and man, I don't know.
There's a lot of controversy and skepticism.
A lot of unknowns happening.
Unknowns is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, we've got a lot of unknowns, and we're going to have a lot more of them on this podcast. So much more. You don't even know. More. You got to stay tuned to them, and that's just what we do. Again, you can find us. We are called Revealed, and you can find us on YouTube primarily. We'll be on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora,
all the works,
Google Play, all the works. Anywhere you're going to go find a podcast, you can go find us.
You'll get the fixins on being able to find us, dadgummit.
And you'll be able to hear some more of Trent and Josh doing what we do here.
You won't believe it, man.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty fun.
I got some weird ideas in my head. I'm ready to get them out.
We're gonna save it for the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Revealed, and just make sure you subscribe, like, and share our channel with everyone. Sure. We want everyone to hear our stupid opinions.
Share it with someone. Share it with your dog. At the very least.
Share it with your dog. I'll share it with my dog, dadgummit. All right, you guys have a good one.
Take it easy.